Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I want to talk about film and the way it slows us down, which is not true at all. What are we talking about? People always say, oh, film slows us down. Yeah, film definitely slows us down. Film is great because you get to slow down. I can shoot a 35 millimeter camera with a motor drive and I can shoot 5 frames a second if I want to. Who says it's slow? Oh, well, we shoot it slower because it's expensive. Film makes you think about what you're shooting. It's expensive. No, it's not. Digital is expensive. Digital has, I remember standing at the Mike's Camera tent sale here in Boulder last spring, and there were people, I was looking at a lens that was for an old Leica R camera, and it was for a film camera, and they said, oh wow, how do you shoot film? Film's so expensive. While they're holding an $1,800 Olympus micro 4/3 body, and I'm going, you're holding up a camera that is $1,800. You make it sound like digital is free. Digital is not inexpensive, and hard drives are not inexpensive, and computers and computer upgrades and Photoshop subscriptions and Lightroom subscriptions, none of that is free. And I question whether the people who say they can't afford to shoot film because it's too expensive and it slows them down, it doesn't slow you down. Maybe you're just going too fast with digital. Because the issue with digital is I can just spray and pray. I can just sit on the shutter and just keep shooting, and hopefully something will come in to my view and I'll have something worthwhile. Maybe digital shoots too fast. Maybe you could shoot too many. And too many is a problem because too many means you have to go sort through them. And a good editor is a good photographer. And if you shot 1,000 frames at that event, are you a good editor? Because 1,000 frames is a lot to go through. So I question that film slows you down. I think film can be perfectly suitable for fast sports as well as slower documentary work. But so can digital. There's no reason why you have to shoot 80 frames in a minute if you're shooting digital. The fact that you can only shoot 36 frames in film is the length of the roll of film. Well, that's the reality, but the truth is digital doesn't make you shoot more. You're just choosing to, because there's this perception that it doesn't cost anything once you bought the camera. But it did cost you when you bought the camera, and when you bought new SD cards, and when you bought, new upgrades to whatever camera you just had, and you had to buy a second camera, or if you have 2 cameras for backups. It's like there is nothing inexpensive about digital photography, and to say that the reason that the film guys are shooting it less footage is because, they get to think slower because it's so expensive. No, it's not. Digital is way more expensive. If you shoot film, even 4x5 film or 8x10, 4x5, let's talk about that. Up until about a year ago, I could buy a pack of Arista EDU 400 speed or 100 speed film, 4x5, 50 sheets for $35. That's under $1 a sheet. And the goal of shooting a 4x5, if you bring a speed graphic out, or you bring an Ebony or some other, camera with bellows, like a field camera, and you put a 4x5 sheet into it and you go shoot a portrait of your parents or of your kids, you're not going to shoot 100 frames. You're going to shoot 2. 1 film holder, and you're going to shoot 2 frames. And that's going to cost you all of 75 cents times 2 is like $1.50. If you process it at home, it'll be under $3 by the time you're processed. Film doesn't have to be expensive. It's just a myth that we've said, I can't afford to shoot it. It's got to be processed and developed. I can process black and white at home for pennies. And it takes me less time to do it than it would to drive it to the camera store. So color film costs more because I'm not processing it here, but if I bought the chemicals I could, and it wouldn't be that much more expensive either. But the point of it is, I think what we're really saying is film people think about their shot. That's not slowing them down. That's actually just being a photographer, considering what is my frame and what do I want to shoot? And do I want to shoot this, or do I want to make it better before I shoot it? Because I'm not going to use this. But digital is almost a little more careless, where it's like, yeah, I'll just shoot it all, it doesn't matter. Well, you're creating an editing job, and if you're not a great editor, you're going to miss the quality photo because you didn't see it amongst the glut of 1,000 photos. So I disagree that film slows me down. I would say that digital has been used in a way that doesn't always beget great quality because the spray and pray method is there. But at the same time, both of them have expense, film and digital. And both of them are quite good. There's nothing to say one is better than the other. I'm just talking about the idea that film slows you down. I don't think it does. It doesn't slow me down. All right, that's today's photography talk. I've been welcoming your comments. And if you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. Thanks so much for watching. I love finding different topics to talk about when I come up with my photography talks. All right, here's the good light.